Number 6, Abria Smith. Number 8, Haley Duke. Number 10, Hannah James. Number 14, Addie Egner. Number 15, Lexi Drace. Number 17, Callie Johnson. Number 18, Alana Fitch. Number 22, Jitsi Doyce. Number 23, Annie Woolbright. And number 24, Harmony Jackson. We are joined by head coach John Dusoy. Sorry. Assistant coach Addie Ashton. And managers Azaria Sago and Madeline Benoit. All right, let's get started.
Hi, everybody. Welcome as we get set for a Saturday of volleyball like none other. These two teams have experienced all year long, Bobcats and Boll Weevils, because this is the last step before you are on to the national championship. So a huge game, the Gulf South District, and what a year it has been for that young lady, named Coach of the Year prior to the start of the game, and then there was all kinds of hardware handed out to the Boll Weevils just prior to the start of the introduction in this one. And that is a testament to what kind of year it has been for Enterprise State. Coming in with a 27-9 mark. But equally as impressive on the other side of the floor, Jones College, because they are in their very first year of volleyball. And they've got an ACCC flavor. Long-time Region 22 coach. We know him as Deuce. Is the guy who was at the helm for Jones College and has taken them to a 28-7 regular season mark and on the brink of advancing. So the Boll Weevils will serve first, taking a look at the lineups. Riley Berry, who is serving. Emma Claire Long, Charlie Walker, Olivia Freeman, Christina Vigil, Kaylee Petty, and the libero Lillian Rhodes is. We've got your volleyball underway. It is tipped over and dropped in. Jones with the opening point. So a 1-zip lead for Jones, who has Mamie Fromdale, Leanne Lambert, Hannah James, Lexi Drace, Alana Fitch, Harmony Jackson, and the libero Emily Boudreau on the floor. Up by Walker over to Petty. Petty free ball sent over. Sent to the mid part of the floor, shoved over by Grace. Grace drops it in the opening two, and this one belonging to Jones. In to serve is Adelaide Egner. Picked up by Rhodes, the libero in the backcourt. It'll tip over by Walker. Setting up the mid part of the floor, that is Drace tipping it across. Long drives it. Drace able to get to it. That is Jackson sending it over. Setting up Long, drives it cross court off Boudreau. And the Boll Weevils are on the board. Boudreau, by the way, was a Coyote a year ago. Was the libero for Coastal Alabama South when Deuce was the assistant coach at South. She went with Deuce to Jones and Ellisville. And now donning the white jersey, that of the libero. Grace picked up by Rhodes. Setting a Petty, drives it over. Jackson able to get to it. Little joust on the net. And we've knotted this one up at 2 each. Into the net with a serve. And Jones with a 3-2 advantage. We have a very special treat for you, joined by the ACCC Commissioner Dean Myrick. Dean, you made the trip down from the Auburn area, 2-hour drive, and I know you're ready to watch some great volleyball.
Yeah, it's a good crowd, good atmosphere.
It is a great atmosphere as that one We'll see Long dropping over and knotted up at 3. You gave out a lot of hardware prior to the start of the game, and I think that's kind of a testament to what kind of season it's been for the Boll Weevils.
It has, and but overall, as you saw at our tournament, even though they won it, and I told people this all the time, the level of volleyball in our conference has risen dramatically over the last few years. Enterprise is just one example of that.
And they've taken their first lead, 4-3. With the serve from Emma Claire Long, launches it over, picked up in the backcourt by Egner. Little tip over, able to get underneath Petty. Back set for Gill. That is Long driving it, picked up by Egner. Jackson able to get a hand on it. And then send it over was, I believe that was Walker, and that time off Walker, and we're knotted up at 4.
But you know, how good is it? You got Enterprise in their 3rd year and Jones in their 1st year. 2
upstart programs.
Yes. I told Deuce, who was actually a long-time assistant at Coastal Alabama South before going to Jones. Nowhere to go but up. How do you go much up from this?
Yeah, I was talking to him before the game. I said, man, are you looking for coaching at a big time? Because obviously when you start with an appearance in the district championship, a step away from the nationals, that looks good on a volleyball resume.
Absolutely.
Setting up Perry, and Perry drives it. 2-point Enterprise State lead. These two teams met during the regular season, as a matter of fact, on the 25th of October, and Jones swept it in Mississippi, but there was some personnel missing from the Boll Weevils. And road shot Long. You mentioned, by the way, the tournament up in Albertville. What a great tournament, I thought. And really, when you went into the weekend, I know there were 8 teams there. There were legitimately 4 teams that had a chance.
Oh, absolutely. And it's I was just amazed, and we talked a lot over the weekend just how the level has gone up. And this is a testament to Wallace State, but you know, for the last 15 years, they've kind of had to run in the mill there. But even though they won it last year, if you remember, Enterprise, you know, pushed them to that 5th set in the if game.
McGill serving it over. Yeah, you mentioned the dominance that Wallace Hansfield used to have in the ACCC. I remember when if they lost a set, it was like you had won the Super Bowl because they were so dominant. But, yeah, there's so much more parity now in Region 22.
It is, and it's, you know, we take the top 8 teams, and you could legitimately say that 6 of those 8 could have won it. And 8 out of 8 if they got hot. But no, it's, you know, Albertville did a good job of hosting us, and good venue.
Well, you know what I'm about to ask, but I won't.
Good, because I don't know the answer.
That hit the rafters and will turn into an Enterprise State point. Now, let me ask this question in regards to, I'll skip the question you know I was going to ask. Where hitting the roof is concerned, it seems to vary venue to venue. Is there a set rule, or is that per the school on whether you accept it hitting the rafters and playing it?
From my limited understanding, I believe if it hits the rafters on your side after you hit it, then you can play it. But I think if it hits the rafters outside the court of play, I believe it's dead. I may be wrong on that.
Well, that's what happened. Is you got a Enterprise State point, turns it into a 3-point lead. What a great atmosphere, too. You know, I mentioned in a conversation we had, we'll pick this up after the break. We've got a timeout on the floor, and the Boll Weevils jump out to a 3-point lead. Enterprise State jumping out to the three-point advantage. What I was alluding to going into the break, though, was, and I know we've talked about it in conversations prior, but it sure looks and feels like interest, fan attendance, energy levels at the junior college level is growing.
Oh, absolutely. And if you just take our conference, for instance, in the last 3 years, we've added 82 teams. 82.
Wow.
And it's amazing because no one else in the country is able to do that.
And for some reason, I feel like 82 is not the end point. I think you're going to be adding more.
We still have some that are thinking about it, and but that's a testament to all of our presidents who see the value of two-year college athletics.
Driven over by Hannah James. James appearing in 95 sets this year. Turns it back into a three-point game. And here's the former Coyote, Emily Boudreaux. Boudreaux serving. She has 36 aces, 33 errors. Barry will drive it back over. The lead back to 4 for Enterprise State.
But you look at this crowd, and Jones has brought a great group with them as well. But probably most of these people that are here in attendance, only view of Enterprise State and Jones is at this volleyball match.
Yep.
And maybe it's the only time spectators come on a campus. So, I firmly believe that athletics can be the front porch of your institution.
Well, it has been, I don't know, maybe a year and a half since I drove on campus here at Enterprise State. Like seemingly all of the campuses in Alabama, there is a ton of construction going on.
Absolutely. And Chancellor Baker, who's of the state system, is a phenomenal leader for us and very supportive of athletics and what we do, and has helped us out with funding. But yes, all of our campuses are exploding with construction and new facilities, upgrades.
Serving is Egner. Egner, 68 aces on the year. This is a team with 307 service aces. McGill over to Long. Long going cross court. That will hit the scoreboard and come back down and played by the Jones College Bobcats. Into the backcourt, picked up by Rhodes. McGill back set. Long into the corner. Woolbright's there. Back over to Rhodes. Rhodes with the pump. And it is Walker off of Drace.
One thing I think sets Enterprise apart from a lot of teams is not many teams have, a hitter like Freeman there that can go up and just end a rally.
And she's an Enterprise product.
Yes.
From Enterprise High School. 6-footer. Yeah, she is so dominant. Aiming for the corner. That got fingertips on the way out, and Jones turns it into a 2-point game.
And I hope I don't get a lot of at-me's if I use the wrong volleyball terminology either. So what I said sounded right.
It sounded good to me. I was going to repeat it. Sarah Aikens serving. Aikens with 53 aces. You have got 3 with better than 50 aces for Jones. Aikens, Fromdahl, and Egner. That will go long.
But you can look at Mississippi as well. They've, I don't know the exact number, maybe adding 2 or 3 more teams next year to volleyball. So, they're growing volleyball as well.
Launched over by Long. Setting up Jackson, blocked by Freeman. Over to Jackson again. Freeman's there again. That is a lengthy frame to try to get it over. There's that set. That is almost always money for Freeman. Long serving again, 4-point lead. Enterprise State, long nibble the top of the net, able to pick it up was Egner on the other side. Jackson going long. And Enterprise State with a 5-point lead. Jones, by the way, got to town last night instead of making the trip over this morning. Came here and worked out in the gym to get a feel for the arena at about 12:30 this afternoon. Petty, little left-handed fist over, picked up by Jackson. Over to Jackson. Freeman got a piece of it. Petty bumping into McGill. There's, again, the set that is just so almost impossible to defend against.
She's a quick jumper, too. Obviously long. So I'm going to ask you a question. Well,
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. If we're not going to break, I'm going to test your history. What's a boll weevil?
You know, there is, as a matter of fact, in downtown Enterprise, the statue of a boll weevil. It's my understanding, if I'm getting the story right, that the destruction caused by the boll weevil shifted the community to look to another form, and I don't know what it was, of enterprise. And that just grew the community. So it's kind of like, you remember the old Chicago song, If She Had Been Faithful?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of that, that kind of story. So they took what was bad, it turned into good, and now they honor the boll weevil, from what I understand.
But what is a boll weevil?
It's a bug.
What kind of bug?
It's like a beetle bug.
Okay, a beetle, yeah.
Yeah. So I went through that entire story just to
I want to hear you
come
say
up
it's
with
a beetle. Yeah. Ate cotton.
They did eat cotton. So that's my understanding, though. So you got a heck of a lot more than you bargained for. I don't know if I've ever seen a boll weevil, except like the one down here in the stand.
Yeah.
– 17-11 boll weevil lead. Long launching it over. Picked up in the backcourt by Agnew. Over to Jackson, and Jackson drops it in front of Rhodes. So Hannah James will serve. 10 aces on the year for James. Floats it over. Rhodes there first. McGill with a set to Penny. Penny into the backcourt. Retrieved by a diving Akins. Rhodes got a hand on it. Long giving the free ball to Penny. Over to Jackson. Jackson able to send it through the Freeman block. (17-13) game. Served up by Finch. Wow, you talk about power too. That ball off the deflection wound up about 10 rows up.
She said a pretty good first set here.
426 hitter on the year. That ain't shabby. Rhodes driving it over to Akins. Bump to Jackson. Barry got a hand on it. Petty from the left side, lobs it over, able to get underneath Jackson. Setting up Jackson, aims for the corner. Great vision to the floor by Jackson. Knew that vacant spot in the corner.
So, Robert, back to your question I couldn't answer. We will be sending out for bids for the 25 volleyball tournament probably within the next couple weeks.
So it hasn't been determined where next year will be, but it will be determined by when.
Gosh, I would hope by the end of January maybe, if not before. We've actually had quite a bit of interest for some entities.
McGill with the serve, does it into the net. She was the MVP of the Region 22 tournament. Meanwhile, Jackson back to serve for Jones College. Now is Albertville going to place a bid?
I believe they will.
Rhodes able to dig it out. Over to Patty. Patty drives it. Boudreaux got to it. Jackson back onto the floor. Boudreaux says, let me have it. Libero to libero. Rhodes with the first touch. Driven over by Walker. Well, I didn't see where it was driven. I wasn't watching, but the line judge is laughing, so I'm assuming he might have gotten popped. If he did, that was with some velocity. Boudreaux with the bump over to Drace. Drace left side, lobs it over. Long digs it out. McGill back to Long. Little tip over. First touch pitch. McGill setting up Long. Nice save on the dig by Fromdahl. Petty to McGill. Little flick over. Trying to make it look like Barry was getting the set. Instead, McGill just flicking it over, and the lead goes to 6.
She had a fantastic year.
Had a fantastic tournament last week. There's some great volleyball up in Albertville. That's a pretty nice block.
Yeah, MVP of the tournament, setter of the year in the South, and player of the year in the conference.
And I don't think she played the last time these two teams met.
She did not.
She is a difference maker. Boudreaux, that might have gone long, but Petty trying to return it. And we've got a timeout on the floor. With the break in action, let's pause as well. 21-17. Ball Weevils 4 away from wrapping up an opening set. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catches shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. (21-17) Enterprise State lead. Opening set. You win this one, you haven't been able to punch your ticket to make plans to go to Iowa yet, but you sure like taking the advantage 1-0. Boudreaux will serve it up. Drives it over to Rhodes. McGill setting up Long, tipped over with a left hand. Back set, Lambert drives it, Petty's there. That is Walker with a drive. Over to Drace, Drace blocked by Barry and Walker. I like too today seeing volleyball team members from other schools here. I've seen Coastal South. Of course, there is that deuce tie where Coastal South is concerned. But other schools represented, and there's plenty of high schoolers volleyball-wise here.
Looks like some maybe Parks and Rec teams and high school. Yeah, great crowd.
Served up by Barry, drops it in front of the end line. And the Boll Weevils are a point away from taking the first set. Riley Berry to serve. 37 aces this year. She gets another, and the Coyotes take set number, make that the Boll Weevils take set number 1, 25-17. I mentioned the Coyotes because they are playing today at this moment in basketball, North and South. That game is just underway in Bay Minette. Here it's the Boll Weevils and the Bobcats. And the opening set will go to the Boll Weevils. 25-17 as we get ready for set number 2 in less than 3 minutes. One set into this one, 25-17 final, Enterprise State. So taking a 1-0 lead. And they have made this here more than just volleyball. It's become kind of an event. And as we speak, doing a little hula hooping. Now it looks like one of our 5 contestants has had to drop out. Now we're down to 2, and the battle continuing.
This could go on all day right here.
Yeah, we got to play some volleyball in a little bit.
You can tell they've done this before.
I've tried that. I guess I just don't have the hip action or something.
Well, at 55, my hip's about out, so it'd be.
Well, can you have a tie for first? I see the coach who is emceeing looking at the clock going, well, I didn't know this would go on. Ah, there we got a winner. Well, let's talk about what happens if you win this one. You go to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, you play in the Nationals. And to me, this atmosphere kind of prepares you for that atmosphere.
It does. And I would dare say this would be a better crowd and better atmosphere than you get at Nationals, but I'm being biased here. But Enterprise has always been known of great crowds at all their sporting events, community support.
You know, the Nationals have always, or seemingly always been, at kind of an Iowa, I know with the D1, I think they had it for a bit in Wyoming maybe, but it never has been in the Deep South, or it's been a long time since it's been in the Deep South.
No, and we have tried to find some facilities to bid, and it just has never worked out, but that's always been a goal of mine when I first started, was to get as many national tournaments here. So, you know, D2 soccer is in Huntsville next week. Cross country's been there. Obviously, D1, D2 softballs in Oxford. We've had golf down in Foley, so we're getting there.
Well, now, when you say Deep South, or I say Deep South, are we thinking exclusively Alabama, or maybe?
Oh yeah, just exclusively Alabama.
Okay.
We don't include.
Who cares about
around.
the other states, right?
No, no, but and I will say this: we all work together. You know, whether it's us, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia. I think work well together.
Tipped over by Long. Grace gets underneath as we get set number 2 underway. Jackson drives it to McGill. And that is Grace with a block, but able to get there, McGill. Setting up Drace. And the point, the first one of this one, awarded to Jones College. Well, and the facility I'm thinking of, it seems like it would be the perfect spot, too, because of the beaches nearby, and that's Northwest Florida State. Got that 3,500 seat arena. Boudreaux got a hand on it. Timing and saving it is Grace, but the free ball not over, and that's because of a miscommunication between Fromdahl and Jackson.
Well, the perfect place down there would be the Foley Event Center or the Hoover Met. You know, you've got the airport right there in Birmingham.
Trying to drive it over was Finch. A little tip over by Drace, able to get underneath, but not put it on the floor was Walker. Well, I'm thinking about all the folks that like the beaches, so Foley, yeah, would be a spot. Me, I'm not a beach. I mean, stick it in the mountains. I'm good with that. Served up by Akins. That will go long by about the width of a volleyball.
So this is key here for Enterprise. They can win this one. It's not impossible, but it's difficult.
In 3-set matches, Enterprise State is 16-5. They will take their first lead in set number 2. Served up by Long. Fromdahl set. Jackson shoves over. Walker sending it back over. Boudreaux with the send. Back set to Jackson. Rhodes in the backcourt. Over to Penny, and Penny drives it. Jackson got there. James able to get a pass off as well. Boy, Vigil. Vigil?
H.
And see, I thought I had improved. I was calling her Vigil last week. This week I went to Vigil, but it's Vigil. Okay. Jackson dropping it in front of the inline. But she's that. I'm trying to think of who athletically to kind of compare her to, because she's not a flamboyant. I mean, when Olivia Freeman knocks something across, it's exploding, it's noticeable. But she is that quiet, blue-collar contributor who is so vital to the success of the team.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell she is the the spark of this team, and she drives the engine.
She's the glue.
She's the glue. That's a good one.
Little shove over by Fromdahl. Okay, I've got to ask in Region 22, what about Reed State? You know, they canceled the year at the beginning of the volleyball season. As far as volleyball is concerned, are they back next year?
They're back. They have hired an AD, Brack Brady, who was off to a great start, doing a good job, and has assured us they will be back. We're also adding Northwest Shoals up in Muscle Shoals, so they'll go in the north, and then Central Alabama will be starting in Prattville, and they'll go in the south. So we'll have 8 teams in each.
Now, in volleyball, everything is D2. The other sports, there's an option. Why is that?
Well, there was an option in volleyball, but the coaches came together and decided that they would all go D2, which I thought was a great decision. You know, Wallace State went out there last year in the first year of D2 and went 3-2, which is the most matches we've won probably in the last 15 years at D1 combined.
A little strong with the opening pass from Long, and Walker trying to retrieve it, couldn't get there. Jones taking the 7-6 lead.
But men's and women's golf all decided to go D2 as well. Women's golf also is going D2 next year.
And I guess where volleyball is concerned, there were so few teams that were going to go D1 that if you wanted to be D1, you wouldn't have any competition.
Well, to be honest, no teams talked about staying D1.
Really?
It was D2 from the get-go.
Penny able to send it through the block of Finch.
And you know, with our scholarship structure, which is D2 based, as well as the lack of internationals, especially in the sport of volleyball, D2 is perfect for us.
Boudreaux, free ball into the backcourt. Penny sent for Berry, shoves it, blocked. Able to get a hand on it was Finch. Boudreaux in the backcourt. And that is a Drace off Walker shot. Serving is Alana Finch. 33 aces, 28 errors this year. Nibble the top of the net. Rhodes able to dig it out. Over to Long. Long bumps it over. Drace able to get underneath. Back set to Lambert. Rhodes there again. Vigil setting up Penny. Dug out by Fromdahl, but unable to return it is James. And it is 8 apiece. Serving is Riley Berry. Berry, a .207 hitter. And she will hit that one long. A reminder, by the way, if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. You could be watching on YouTube or you could be watching on the ACCC Sports Network. If it's on YouTube, there's a subscription button. If it's on the network, then you'll have to go to YouTube. Patty sending it over. We've reached one goal, 5,300. Now going for goal number 2, 5,400. Over to Drace. Drace in front of the inline. The ultimate goal is 1 million subscribers. I just feel like we're not going to make that this year.
It's not a bad goal.
Yeah, it's a real good goal. I don't know if we can hit it. But
what's 1 million?
Yeah. Got the ace. Did Adelaide Egner. And Egner will serve again. Then on the top of the net and drops in another ace. So Egner serving once more. 3-point Jones lead. Patty first touch. Vigil setting up Walker, blocked by Grace. Long able to get to it. Patty into the backcourt. Egner retrieves. Grace lobs it over. Vigil with a fist on it. Patty with the free ball over. Setting up the mid part of the floor. Grace bumps it over. Walker's there. Over to Long, and Long will bang it off the fingers of James and Fromdahl.
They don't seem to be going to Freeman as much this set.
Nope, and I'm looking for her at the moment. There in the mid part of the floor, and blocked by the official on the ladder. As Freeman said, yeah, stick that out there. Let me swat that thing. Popped it right there to the inline. Boudreaux with a dive. Boudreaux, a solid player, as I mentioned, that played for South last year. When I saw Jones College play Coastal North this year, I'm like, man, she looks familiar. Finally put 2 and 2 together. It's a mainstay for South when they were playing their volleyball at Bay Minette Middle because of renovations in the Jack Robertson Arena. (13-10) lead. I think they've made an adjustment on the scoreboard. I thought they were 1 behind, and now they've made that adjustment. Freeman could not get around Vigil to drop it over. Got a timeout on the floor as the Boll Weevils see the Bobcats go out in front by 4. Jones trying to tie it up at 1 each with a 4-point lead in set number 2. Boll Weevils asking for time. They've talked, and we are back to the volleyball. Lexi Drace serving it over. No aces for Drace. Coming out of the timeout, Boll Weevils trim it by 1. Long back to serve. Long, a 128 hitter on a 216 hitting squad. That is shoved over by Fromdahl.
Well, if we give a quick update on the national championship in cross country, Wallace State was 4th, Shelton State 10th, Calhoun 11th. Let's see. Northeast Alabama 28th, Gadsden 30th. So two top 10 teams in the country.
Where was that being held?
That was in Richmond for the women. For the men, Wallace State was 3rd. Calhoun 18th. Northeast 19th. Coastal North 26th. Marion 27th. So, gosh, at one time this year we had 7 teams in the top 25.
It has been an impressive, decade? And I know you want to downplay the fact that in that decade you've been at the helm of the ACCC, but it has fared well under your tutelage. Well,
it's nothing I have done. It's, like I said, we've got great presidents and ADs and coaches. And, not long ago we only had three cross-country teams. And next year our championship race will have 16.
I almost feel guilty by not bringing up football. But we are going to have football soon.
We're looking at some flag football, and hopefully we'll have some news coming up in a few weeks.
So stay tuned. Good things continue to come to the ACCC. Rhodes serving it up on the receiving end. Akins over to Jackson. Blocked by Vigil. And then Petty goes long. Got a little over anxious. Saw that about 6-foot gap between the first Bobcat and the inline and just fired away and went long.
And sometimes you can have too much room. Make you think a little bit.
Served out by Mamie Fromdale. Fromdale appeared in 125 sets this year. Up over to Long into the backcourt. Boudreaux couldn't get that first pass that she wanted. Just couldn't get the hands positioned.
And Long is a great second option to Freeman.
And Freeman at the moment on the bench as Vigil serves. Jackson to Fromdal. And the Lambert shot blocked by Walker. But it is blocked out of bounds. And the Bobcats take a 5-point lead. Haley Duke into the ballgame to serve. 13 aces on the year. Serves in a 5-point game. Jones trying to tie it at 1. Into the net. Long just couldn't get it over. And Duke to serve again. Vigil setting a Petty. Petty cross court shot from down there. Boudreaux with the set. Driven over by Lambert.
Definite momentum switch this set.
Maybe it's this side of the floor.
Maybe.
Well, if that be the case, then it's advantage Boll Weevil since they started there. So if it were to go 5, that is a little bit wide. Boudreaux gotten into position to return, didn't have to.
On a different note, I'm going to have to ask Jermaine, the AD here, what their T-shirt budget is. Between every pause of play, man, they're throwing some T-shirts out in this crowd.
We need somebody with a good arm down there, though, that can make it to the second tier. Blocked back over by Petty. Jermaine, the AD and men's coach, he told me today, I did not realize that he is no longer coaching the women here.
I'll tell you what, I marvel at how he was able to do that.
Back over goes to Long. Long cross court. Boudreaux there. From Dell with a set to Drace. And Drace off of Walker.
But you know, same for Ricky Knight at LBW. He's done both for, what, over 30 years?
Yep.
That's phenomenal. And drive the bus.
Well, and William Brown and Southern Union did for, what, a year or so, NAD. But I think now they've got a ladies coach and have for a couple of years. Jones needing 2 to tie it up at 1. An impressive comeback for Jones. Here in set number 2, there is a long kill. And the Boll Weevils not giving up on set number 2.
But you know, we talk about facilities, and I don't know how many people are listening from the great state of Mississippi, but you know, overall they have some great athletic facilities.
Well, as a matter of fact, they've got football, and Jones, I think, is searching for a new football coach, if I understand correctly.
I don't know.
There are 3 openings in Mississippi, and Jones one of them. We are at set point. Jones trying to tie it at 1. They will. Blocked right back over by James. And we are 2 sets in, and nobody's got the clear advantage. An opening set win for the Boll Weevils, and the Bobcats take set number 2. We're headed to a third, which means we're going to have at least 4 today. It's 1 apiece, Jones and Enterprise.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Not enough, and a set each. Opening set belonging to the Boll Weevils, 25-17. Bobcats take 2, 25-15. So that means we're going 4 and in 4 set matches. The Boll Weevils 7-3, and the Bobcats 11-2. By the way, let me say hello to those watching in Brazil. I talked with Coach Howell prior to the game. She said she has family that watches there in Brazil, so good to have you on the other end of the broadcast.
It's great to have the wide world leader in JockJive. How long you been with us, what, 12 years?
I think so. I guess about the time you got there. Maybe the year after, or maybe the year up. But a pleasure to be working with the ACCC again.
You have put up with us well.
Or is that vice versa?
Yeah, no. And I hate to give credit to Georgia, but you were referred to us by my good friend, Mr. Elder, and I guess we've been together ever since.
I think so. Dave Elder, the commissioner there, who, by the way, his father passed recently. Our condolences to the family. And coverage of Alabama Community College conference play expanding again this year. Can we talk about, what happened?
Oh, we can talk anything you want to.
I just didn't know if it was public knowledge yet or not, the fact that Alabama Public TV is...
Oh, yes. Well, yeah, we're still working on Game of the Week. And I am very pleased to say we got approval from our presidential board. We'll be contracting with Rare Design from actually Mississippi on renaming and rebranding our conference. I am greatly looking forward to that.
So now what role will President's Alabama play in the renaming? I guess this company comes up with options and you choose?
This company will conduct a lot of research. They will interview, all of our stakeholders, like presidents, ADs, coaches, whoever they feel they need to speak with, and get a glimpse of what we're about and what we want to be and history. And so they'll put a lot of effort into researching and making some proposals on names and new logo and colors. And I felt like this is a good time for us with our growth and getting a fresh, clean, innovative new start to the conference. So
that is
August
interesting.
1st of 25 will be something.
So next year, so it's just around the corner. So you just approved hiring, so they're going to work quickly.
Yeah, it's probably their goal is by the end of April, and we will formally announce the end of July at our inaugural Hall of Fame banquet and summer conference.
Long to V Hill, tipped over by Freeman, able to dig it out was Egner. That is driven over and off the fingertips of Rhodes. Jones taking their first lead in set number 2. Well, let's see here. Got a halftime score from Bay Minette, Coastal Alabama North, a 25-21 lead at the half in women's basketball.
And how about the North Coyotes, first year D2 last year, beating Florida to go to the national tournament.
First national tournament ever.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have happened. Let's face it, if they were D1, so D2 reaping dividends. Fromdell shoving it back over.
And I think that's a great example of what D2 has done for us in a positive manner is provide extra opportunities for not only our teams but student athletes to experience postseason. And because we don't know how many of those teams, men or women, making the D2 tournament would have made it at the D1 level.
Served up by Boudreaux. First touch Walker. V Hill back set Freeman. There's that money shot. Tied up at 4.
And what a cool story that is, Coach Armstrong at Coastal North basketball and police chief on Roval and taking them to a national tournament.
When I found out she was police chief, I was like, say what?
Yeah, she doesn't mess around. Does a great job on both.
V Hill shoving it to the net. I think the intent of the pass was to get something to Petty, but actually hit the net. Turns it into a 6-4 game. Served again by Fromdell. Fromdell, a 427 hitter, goes long.
That's got to drive a coach crazy there. Free points.
Yeah, you look at service errors for Jones, 277 in the year. That's 277 points given away. And both teams do it. All teams do it. Enterprise State tying it up at 6. Lillian Rhodes serving. Drives it over. Wow. That just got there so quick. Jackson really didn't have a whole lot of time to react. That was a rocket from Rhodes.
I didn't even know if it was going to go over the net or not.
I thought it was going to go back the Enterprise State direction. Back set, Jackson tips it over into the backcourt long. V-Hill setting up Barry into the backcourt. Retrieved by Akins, but Akins a little too strong with the toss. And the Boll Weevils by 2. Got a timeout on the floor with the break. We pause too. It's the Boll Weevils by a pair. What a great hire Vanessa Howell was for Enterprise State. Was that under Jermaine? Was he the AD then?
Was. Yeah, Coach Howell had a great career at North Alabama as a player. We've got some great coaches. Obviously, Randy at Wallace State, but these new coaches that are coming in are exceptional.
LBW had a strong year.
Yeah, look what Coach Wiggins did at LBW. And that's only their 3rd year as well, and won the South actually this year over Enterprise.
Walker able to return. Penny drives it in his dugout. That is Akins able to get to it. Winds up near the bench. And then V-Hill trying to send it between the antennas and couldn't. It is interesting over the course of a year how you see like your used players narrow. I mean, in the first of the year you might see 8, 10 players, 4 or 5 off the bench. But by the time you get to this level, you're down to the whatever number that you're going to use to get you the rest of the way.
I agree. I think you see that in a lot of sports. Once you get down to nitty-gritty and postseason, and that bench narrows a lot.
V-Hill serving. Fromdahl over to Drace. Drace was responsible for an early spurt by the Bobcats. But the Boll Weevils have been able to defend her nicely lately. And the Boll Weevils by 3. And again, well, I'll refrain from bringing it up much. But this is the same side of the floor that...
See, you did it. You did it. I just hope everyone takes notice of who said that.
So you're thinking based on that, things will change, the fate will change. Fromdahl, Drace sending it over. V-Hill trying to pull it off the net and couldn't. And Long says, hey, can we stop play for a minute? There's a little moisture on the floor.
So I guess by your logic, we're going 5.
That's right. That's right. And the plus to that would be that Enterprise State did start on that side of the floor. And if you went 5, the odd number, that everything's going to be okay. Talked to Deuce before the ball game. Told him, I said, man, I am proud of the way that he has accomplished in his first year there at Jones. 28-7 for a first-year coach and a first year for him. It's not just a first year for Jones. It's a first year of head coach. I mean, how do you top that?
That's what I was telling him earlier today. I'm like, you know, set the bar pretty high in your first year.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, let's give credit. I mean, Jones' athletic department's phenomenal all the way around. All sports. And
I know they've won softball national championships, baseball national championships.
football's always in the mix.
Yep. Perry gets it into the corner.
And basketball's top 10 this year, men's. Actually, their women play Shelton State today. That'll be a good matchup.
Had Ray Perkins as a coach for a bit at Jones. Into the net with a serve from Petty.
Yeah, when I first broke in NJCAA, Katie Harrington was AD at Jones, and it was great to serve with her on committees.
Got the back set, driven over by Walker, and that will wind up in the stands off of Egner. The longest basketball game I ever called was at Jones. It was Colin and Jones, a 3 OT game.
Oh, wow.
Barry sending it over. Setting up Drace. Drace for the left side. Petty in the back court. Freeman. There's that shot again. Drives it off Drace. Barry to serve. Aiming for the corner and able to get it there was James. By the way, here on JockJive today, you've got baseball in Ozark at Eagle Stadium. You got basketball in Bay Minette. And you got volleyball here in Enterprise. That is driven by Walker. And Walker will serve. When does the Nationals begin in Iowa? Is it next week?
I want to say next. Gosh, Robert.
Shouldn't have asked, huh?
I know.
Or at least
I could've
alert
told
you.
Didn't ask.
Boudreaux will serve. Rhodes first touch. V-Hill back set. Freeman drives it, drops it. Ball Weevils by 4. Long serving again. Emma Claire Long, the sophomore outside hitter. Enterprise State got the ace as it ricochets off Akins. Enterprise State has played very well here at home, 10-1. Their only loss here was to Santa Fe. V-Hill with a set on the opposite side of the floor to Petty. It is blocked by Fromdahl. Little tip over V-Hill, but goes a little wide on the floor.
November 19th. No. I apologize. That's next year. I skipped a year.
So maybe the 18th this year?
The 20th.
All right, 20.
20th.
So about, what is
2
today?
weeks.
9th?
Yep.
Rhodes serving.
But, you know, go back to Jones. Chris Robinson, their AD now, was the softball coach.
Well, they've been
That you
very
talked
successful.
about. Very successful.
Yep. Many a year that, trying to think of the spot, Clinton, Mississippi.
Yeah.
For the Nationals, and Jones, year in, year out, was in that championship game. It would often wind up being a battle between they and LSU Unis. And both teams won their fair share.
Absolutely.
Got a timeout on the floor. Let's take the break as well in a 19-13 Boll Weevil lead. Boll Weevils taking the opening set. Jones set number 2. Enterprise State with the lead in set 3. Knotted up in 1 each. Versus Region 23 teams. Boll Weevils are 2-1. Jones has played a lot more Region 22 teams. They are 16-4 against the ACCC. Into the net with a road serve.
Hate doing that coming out of a timeout.
Gives up the serve and gives up the point. And Haley Duke serving for Jones. First touch long, V. Hill giving it to Penny. And Penny able to sneak it over in front of Abria Smith. And the Boll Weevils needing 5 to wrap up set number 2. Jones needing 11. Back-to-back service errors. One from Rhodes and that one from V. Hill. Served up by James. I checked that. I think that's an 8, not a 10. Not a 0. So it is Finch who served. But I guess the good news for the Boll Weevils is that the Bobcats have had just about as many service errors as they have.
Yeah.
Penny launching it over. Back set. Smith sending it across. Penny. The Hill back set to Long. To Walker, rather, and Walker will drive it over. From this vantage point on the floor, Walker and Long look so similar. Kind of reminds me of, for Coastal South, it was, I'm trying to think of the two that look so much alike. Sanchez and somebody else. Norman goes to Smith. Blocked by Long. Another opportunity for Smith. And off Rhodes.
Well, we mentioned Shelton State and Jones. Shelton State's up 59-23 in the third. A little surprising there.
Ranked, I think, 9th in the preseason polls. Rhodes first touch. V. Hill back set. Long blocked out of bounds. Off of James.
You know, probably one of the more phenomenal stats I've ever heard. Shelton State women's basketball, 200 straight conference wins.
Yep, and that streak continues into this year.
Yeah.
Little lob over and it'll go wide.
And actually, that could have been broken twice in last year's tournament. If you remember, in the semis with Calhoun and championship with
Oh,
Wallace.
yeah. That was quite a basketball championship last year.
Oh, it's a phenomenal. Best one we've had. Great games. UA Alabama Huntsville did a great job hosting.
And it's back there this year, isn't it?
It is. D2 men and women will be at Montevallo.
Ansley Copeland will serve. Boll Weevils needing one. Freeman, there's the one they need. And the Boll Weevils will take a 2-1 lead, needing one more to wrap it up. But they've got a very formidable foe in Jones. And two, should I remind you, do I need to bring it up? Jones is moving to the right side of the floor.
As long as you bring it up, I'm not.
So the Boll Weevils take a 2-1 lead. They'll get to some festivities and activities here on the floor in between sets. We'll go to the break with the Boll Weevils trying to wrap up this match and get a trip together to Iowa in set number 4.
The top two in the poll.
Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Craft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. To an advantage, Enterprise State needing set 4 to wrap it up. Jones College needing set 4 to send it to 5. And they have swapped sides of the floor. We'll get your volleyball back underway in just a moment. I like what they're doing here in between sets. I mean, that increases fan interest.
It does.
Adds energy level to the game.
They've done a good job.
We were talking about some other scores in the timeout. Junior college football, Georgia Military, a 35-33 lead over Lackawanna. That's a 2 and a 9, but it's huge for Georgia Military. If they win, they're probably hosting a playoff game. They lose, they're not playing in the playoffs. They might get a bowl bid somewhere, but they're not going to be in the Final Four, so that is huge.
Yeah, and I think, we keep mentioning Mississippi. I think 4 and 5 are playing today or played last night? Or
They play today. Let's see. It is in the north. It is the 1 seed is Northwest taking on the 2 out of the south, which is Mississippi Gulf Coast. And the 1 out of the south is East Central taking on the 1 out of the north, which is Holmes. And I think they're about to get underway where those two are concerned. I'm trying to remember when I've seen Freeman miss that shot, and it has not turned into a point. It is rare.
She kind of took over set one, but kind of since then is kind of faded a little bit. So good to get her going. First point.
Service error by Walker. Drace will serve. Freeman again. 2-1 lead.
What did the young ones say? Let her eat. Let her keep eating. That's the same?
I think that is the, I'm not young, so I don't know.
Not me either.
But I think that is it.
Keep feeding her. Let her eat.
Little tip over by James. Able to get underneath is Walker, and it is driven over and out. Well, the pressure not on Jones yet. I mean, we're early in set number 4, but if the Boll Weevils can grab a lead and take it late into the set, then anxieties start to set in. Where the Boll Weevils are concerned, they've got at least a set from anxiety. Bumped over by Fromdahl. Dug out by Walker over to Petty. Petty drives, blocked, and it will wind up in the Enterprise State bench, and Jones will take the lead.
Obviously they want to end it here because crazy things happen in that 5th.
Well, when we're talking football, let's see what else is happening. Iowa Western 35-zip over Ellsworth College with most of the second quarter still to go. I feel like I know who's going to win that one.
Well,
Snow a 43-7 lead over Monroe.
Hutch put 99 on Ellsworth a few weeks ago. So had one call back.
Could have been 100, huh?
Put 106.
Coffeyville 10-7 over Independence. These are all games in progress. Hutch 44-zip has beaten Highland. Garden City is knocked off. Make that Iowa Central has beaten Garden City 49-45. Serve over to Fromm now. And those games involving Mississippi teams, they both start at 3. Holmes and East Central, Mississippi Gulf Coast, and Northwest. In his final, Georgia Military has knocked off Lackawanna. 35-33. Congratulations to Rob Manchester and the Bulldogs. Into the backcourt off of Akins. Of course, we do Georgia Military College football, so for the first time, I guess ever, there's going to be football in December at Davenport Field.
Bert Williams would be pleased.
He would indeed. Rob Manchester, his protege. That is off from. Now, what a nice bit of reflective action by Lambert. I mean, she just somehow, and did it again. That will go long from Akins. But Lambert, man, 2 consecutive passes that just seem to be impassable. Vigil with a serve. Boudreaux taking it out. Back set. Jackson drives it, drops it. Off of Petty and Barry.
But Robert, I kind of posted this from our tournament. All wins and losses aside, I think but I'll say this about Jones as well from the little time that I've spent with them. And we've just got some good young men and women that play and so respectful and polite, good representatives of Jones and Enterprise and all of our teams.
Are you trying to say they don't get on a plane and start fighting?
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but
being part of the floor, it is driven over by Fitch. The lob across from Walker. And that'll go into the net, and the Enterprise State Boll Weevils taking a 2-point lead.
I know my mom and dad never said, if y'all don't cut it out, I'm going to turn this plane around.
No. Didn't have to worry about that. My parents would cut it out before anything got out of hand.
Probably a little bit more expensive than
I would say
our
so.
old station wagon around and turning a plane and switching planes.
Yeah, I would think so. Over to Long driving in cross court. That will wind up in the stands off pitch. Riley Berry serving. Berry, a 207 hitter with 37 aces on the year on a 216 hitting squad. Jones has 28 wins. Enterprise State wants 28.
But if we're going to pile it on, we might as well, if Auburn football had some fight like that, I don't know, maybe they would be where they are.
And you had to bring that up.
I know. I had to go there.
Rhodes nibbled the top of the net, able to pull it off the net was James. And it's Grace who ties it up at 8.
But I will be a Mississippi fan today and hope they knock off Georgia. So go Rebels.
Now, who's your collegiate favorite?
Well, I live in Auburn, but I have to say Roll Tide.
I've never been one to pull for anybody in particular. I guess I cover so many teams, it's hard to have a favorite, but since my wife was a Crimson Tider, I've had to become one. Off the top of the net and then dribbling off V-Hill. And we're tied again at 9. Now, you're originally
North Carolina. I was going to say Tar Heel basketball all the way, though.
Tar Heels have had some pretty good football players. Drake Mays, isn't he a former Tar Heel?
He is.
Bumped over. Back set, nope. Boll Weevils wanted Bobcats to think it was a back set. Instead, it was driven over by Walker. Make that by Long.
We have to go Tar Heel basketball, though.
Well, Tar Heels were also the home to Michael Carter, who was the running back and played with the Jets and I think the Cardinals. He is a Navarre product. So, he's a local boy. Sent over by Jackson, tied at 10.
Yeah, I grew up with, obviously Dean Smith and Jordan, Perkins, Worthy.
It's a pretty good era of North Carolina basketball.
It was awesome. Best there was.
V-Hill with a set to Petty. Petty going too long, and it is Jones that takes a 1-point lead.
But I will say, being in Alabama for 12 years, it's good to see basketball. Whether it's Auburn, Alabama, Samford, doing really, UAB's done real well.
Boudreaux able to send it across, dug out by Walker, and there's Freeman.
Basketball, not football. UAB.
UAB, did they make for some reason it seems like they did okay last year in football, but maybe I'm just dreaming.
I think you're dreaming.
Yeah, probably am. Fromdell. Fitch the set, Fitch the drive, and it's the Jones Bobcats with a 1-point lead. Well, a whistle blown. Everybody looked at the sidelines. I was wondering if a timeout had been called, and even Coach Howell was looking back to go, okay, what was the whistle for? A 1-point Jones lead. First touch long, over goes to Petty. Petty off a pitch. Yeah, this is the way this one is going, just back and forth. 1-point lead for the Bobcats and the Boll Weevils, and then a tie game again. V-Hill, Jackson, not a particularly good first pass, but able to send it over to Rhodes. Rhodes a little strong, but the set for Walker, and Walker, it careens off Fromdahl. Both teams trying to establish momentum that gives them a little separation. Bumped over by Finch, sending it to Petty, and Petty will knock it off of Fromdahl. Bull Weevils with a 2-point lead, and V-Hill serving. Bull Weevils winners of 4 in a row. The ace from V-Hill. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor. Bull Weevils needing 10 to win. And the Bobcats needing 13 to go to set 5. Three-point Bull Weevil lead in set number 4. In 4-set matches, Enterprise State 7-3. In 4-set matches, Jones is 11-2, but they won a 5-set match. And both teams have played very well in 5 sets.
That was a big point coming out of timeout. Break that streak there.
Back to a 2-point game. Served up by Haley Duke. Little tip over. Dug out by Fromdahl. Giving an opportunity for the Bull Weevils to go on the attack, and Long will go long. 2 consecutive Jones points coming out of the timeout. And that Enterprise State lead dwindles to 1. Duke again with the serve. Bumped over to Petty. Petty drives. And that will ricochet off Fitch. Petty again serving. Petty 34 aces this year. A 189 hitter. Boudreaux second touch. Lambert blocked. Able to get underneath was Fromdahl. Into the backcourt to Petty. It is tipped over by Walker, and Boudreaux couldn't dig it out. Petty serving. A 3-point Bull Weevil lead. Over to Finch.
Wow. Good save there.
Indeed. Just the quick reflexes. Over to Long. V-Hill back set. Walker. A little joust on the net. Pulled off the net, and Fromdahl sending it over to Drace. And Drace able to send it over. Alana Fitch will serve. Give on the top of the net. Nice dig out by Long, and that will go off Drace and out of bounds. Berry to serve. Three-point Boll Weevil lead, set number 4. Boll Weevils with a 2-1 advantage. Checking into the lineup to serve is Adelaide Egner. Egner is the best server on this Jones team with a total of 68 aces. Setting up Freeman, little tip over and trying to pancake it was Egner and couldn't.
I guess we can see if Freeman will take them to the end.
Leading 6.
Keep setting her up.
Gulf South District Championship. Over it goes to Drace. Drace into the backcourt. Petty able to pick it up. V-Hill setting up long off of the fingertips of James. Little two-handed V-Hill shove. Boll Weevils closer. Timeout on the floor asked for by Jones College as the Boll Weevils lead by 4 and need 5. Boll Weevils trying to avenge a loss to Jones on the 25th of October, but more importantly, punch their tickets to the Nationals. Cedar Rapids, Iowa awaits. Got a feeling it's a little chillier in Cedar Rapids than it is in Enterprise.
Seems to be a little bit more effort in the pom-pom waving during the smiles are a little bit bigger on the Weevil bench.
Trying to extend some Boll Weevil mojo from the pom-poms to the floor. Served up by Walker. Drace. Petty got a touch on it. Rhodes sending it back onto the floor. Free ball from V-Hill, not over. Jones cuts it to 3. Drace will serve. First touch Long. V-Hill tracks it down. Back over to Long for the left side. Giving the Boll Weevils an opportunity to set it up. Well, there's a first. Block the Freeman shot. And turns it into a 2-point game. And now it is the Boll Weevils asking for time as the Bobcats score 2 straight. Jones draws to within 2, an 18-20 contest with 18 serving 20. Dre serving. Big point coming up. Paul Weevils trying to snap the run. Freeman blocked again, this time by James. Back over to Long. Trace able to get to it. From Dell. Setting up Jackson. Pulled off the net by Jackson after the V-heel block. She'll aim for the corner, drop it in. It's a 1-point game.
Bobcats won't go away.
Trace will serve. Back over it goes to Long. Long drives, blocked. It's 20 each. Served up by Trace. Bobcats take the lead.
Now the Bobcat pom-poms are going a little bit there.
Another time out on the floor. We will break as well as the Bobcats down by 4, score 5 in a row and lead it by 1. A 1-point Jones lead, trying to force a 5th set.
Been a good one.
Trace will serve. She'll go long. It's 21 each. Long now serving. Long driving it over into the backcourt to Egner. Slam right back over, a 1-point Bo Weevil advantage. Long serving into the net, 22 each. Boudreau to serve. 22 apiece. First touch Walker, setting up Freeman. Freeman will drop it in. Well, Dean Myrick's got some other duties to take care of that might be coming up in a few. Rhodes will serve. From Dell, tipped over by Jackson. It's long, and the Boll Weevils are one away. (24-22). Boll Weevils set, match point. Rhodes from Dell the set. It will go out off Penny, and Jones within 1. Wow, you talk about the pressure on the serve. From Dell, they can get it over the net. V-Hill setting up Penny. Penny drives, Boudreau gets to it. Setting up Jackson, blocked. Fitch able to return. Back over to Jackson. It's a 24 each game. Two straight from Jones. We're tied at 24. 26 is the level to reach. And there is point number 25 for Jones. Served again by Fromdale. V-Hill setting up Petty. Petty going wide, and we're headed to a fifth set. Well, we thought it was over. Paul Weevils had gone out in front by 2 and needed 1, but Jones did what they had to do to tie it up, send it to the equivalent of OT in volleyball, and now we're going to that fifth and final set. And what is it about these championships, Dean, that just brought out the best in volleyball, in this case, basketball? We have had some great sports.
If we're going to do it, let's do it. Let's go 5.
Might as well. Oh, by the way, should I mention that side of the floor?
Well, they get to switch.
That's right.
So it's half and half.
So every win has been to our right. Jones winning a couple of sets to our right. And Enterprise State winning a couple of sets to our right. For Enterprise State, set 1 and 3, 25-17 and 25-17. For Jones, sets 2 and 4, 25-15 and 26-24. Set number 3, I make that 5, set 5, and the one that somebody's got to win and win it 3-2 is coming up.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Well, why the heck not? A fifth set. Knotted up at 2.
Hey, hats off to Jones. It was 2016 when they called that timeout.
Then they got behind 24-22. When the other team gets to 24, man, the anxieties have got to be working.
Oh, absolutely. So how does Enterprise respond?
Well, we know we won't go any further than 5. The question is, how deep into 5 do we go? Got to win by 2. Got to be stressful. I was noticing both coaches. Vanessa Howell's just so calm, cool, and collected. The demeanor just doesn't seem to change, no matter what point in the game. Deuce had his hand over his eyes, and you knew you could just feel the anxieties.
But you know, I remember Deuce when he was at Coastal. Can get animated a few times. Good coach, though.
Is it a surprise the success he's had here, though?
No. He was a great help to Coach Delaney down there. So, no.
Fifth set underway, and the opening point belonging to the Ball Weevils. James apparently getting into the net. And the Bobcats thought it was theirs. The Boll Weevils find out it is theirs. And a 1-zip Enterprise State lead. There was a game, I think, last weekend in Albertville, if I'm remembering correctly, that wound up both teams scored in it, but it goes to the 5th set, and then one team just reeled off 14 in a row in that 5th set. I guess that's the proverbial running out of gas. Or hitting the accelerator if you're the team that scores the 14. That is long, and the first 2 belong to the Boll Weevils. Patty serving in a 2-zip game from Dahl. Setting up James, and James long. And Jones is going to ask for time. Well, a 3-zip start in a 15-point game is about like a 6-point start in a 25-point game. So the Boll Weevils...
Definitely the start you did and didn't want.
Did on that side and didn't on this. By the way, I noticed they didn't swap sides of the floor. That'll happen halfway through. That's right. That's right. Forgot about that swap at the 8-point mark. Well, the winner of this one, regardless, goes to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and your time to plan travel is very limited. But you got about a week and a half to.
Most definitely is. Do you drive? Do you fly? Do you fly up, drive back? A lot of decisions.
Now, there are some parts of the country that was being played in Casper, Wyoming. I think that decision on fly versus drive is already made for you. I would assume you don't drive to Wyoming.
No, and yeah, that was a tough decision. Whoever made that.
Casper is no longer the site for D1 volleyball.
One more year.
Oh, one more. Okay. Perry shoving over. Boudreau able to get to it from Dell. Back set. Drace into the backcourt to Petty. Over Long, and Long will go wide.
I can still hear my good friend James Frey when they announced they were going to Wyoming.
What was your good friend James Frey saying?
I can't say on the air.
It's a 3-2 game. James Frey, now the assistant at New Mexico State.
Doing well.
I periodically touch base and say, are you sure you're not ready to come back to Georgia? But it's 3 each.
I believe he would come back tomorrow if he could.
I think you're right. I was going to say he's a Georgia boy, but actually originally from New York, as Barry drives it over.
Great save there.
Trace able to save it. Jackson sends it across. Over to Barry, and Barry says, save this one. Well, she gets fired up. A chest bump nearly knocked down one of her teammates. She's ready to roll. Perry fires into the backcourt, picked up by Akins. Setting up Jackson, little lob over. Freeman into the backcourt and handled by Egner. Boudreau says, let me have it. Bumps over to Akins. Jackson ties it up at 4.
Jackson's had a great match. They keep going to her.
Boudreau serving in a 4-apiece game. To Freeman. Boll Weevils by 1. By the way, I see on the other side of the floor, I cannot remember the first name, but Hardigan the last, who is a member of the Coastal South volleyball team, here to see former assistant coach and former teammate. Served up by Walker. Fromdale. Jackson pulling it off the net. Fromdale back to Jackson. Blocked by Freeman. And a wind up in the stands, and we're back to a 3-point Boll Weevil lead. It has been nearly a 2-hour match. Over to Jackson. Pumps it over. Opportunity for the Weevils to go on the attack, and Freeman's the one they want to give it to, and they do. So the ladies swap sides of the floor, and the lead is back to 4. It was 4 in set number 4. It is 4 and 5, but 4 and 5 is a heck of a lot different than 4 in 4.
It has, but we've switched sides.
That's true. That is true. You never know what's going to happen.
Who breaks the curse of the right side?
Served up by Walker. Fromdale with a set to Jackson, and Jackson just couldn't get the appropriate shot off. Just misfired a bit.
But you know, win, lose, or draw for both teams. They have played well.
It has been a heck of a match. Timeout on the floor asked for by Jones. Boll Weevils, are they 6 away from Iowa? We'll find out when we return. Knotted up at 2 each, 9-4 Enterprise State lead in the decisive set number 5.
It's been a good one, Robert.
It has been. I'm kind of anticipating this kind of stuff these days with the Region 22 team. I mean, the basketball was great, the volleyball there in Albertville, going back to last year's baseball, last year's basketball in D2. Setting up Jackson, drives it. Freeman off her fingertips. But what we have learned from Jones is don't count them out.
Definitely can't count them out. They've been battling back all day. Done a great job.
A 4-point game. Just a terrific crowd here, by the way. Camera angle gives you the other side, which has got a good crowd. This side is full. Freeman, it is blocked, able to pick it off as Penny off the floor. Back over to Long. Boudreaux able to get to it. Fromdale setting up Jackson. Rhodes, and then the quick V-heel shove. Anticipating was Fromdal. Launched over by Lambert. Long aiming for the corner, picked up by Akins. That is Jackson with a lob, and unable to dig it out was Walker. It is a 3-point game.
Fantastic set. Match. They keep going to her.
Fromdal.
Ooh.
Petty able to get it. Into the backcourt of Fromdal. Boudreaux setting up Lambert. Freeman. They can almost read the mind of V-Hill on the set. Going, if I can just get it to Freeman. Long with the serve. Over to Lambert. Lambert got fingertips.
It's where we were last time, Robert.
3-point game.
Well, it was, I guess you can say 20-16 and versus 10-6.
Yep.
Needing 5. And Jones will match it.
Bump by Walker. Setting a penny. And that will go off for Cromdell into the net. Ball Weevils need 4. Lillian Rhodes serving. Fires it over, picked up by Duke. Over to Drace, and Drace cuts it to a 3-point game. Alana Finch serving. 340 hitter with 33 aces, 28 errors on the year. Perry, little tip over. Able to pick it up was Lambert. Drace dropping it over. Walker gets to it. Setting a Petty. Petty drives. It's to that side of the floor where there was nary a Bobcat. Three away from wrapping up the set and match. And Dean, who is headed down to the floor after the 4th set, now back down to the floor after the 5th one. 2 points away. V-Hill serving. Drace pumping it over to Lambert. Lambert sending across. Walker gets there and backs away. V-Hill with a set to Petty. It is blocked. Back over it goes to Walker, and it will drop Bobcats. Now see the Boll Weevils lead by 1. To make that needing 1. Leading by 6. Set, match, championship point. Lambert able to track it down. Free ball sent over by James. That is Barry. Drops it in front of the end line. Boll Weevils, they've won it. They are the Gulf South District champions. They are headed to Iowa, winning their 5th in a row, 28-9 on the year. And the Boll Weevils will be the representative for the South District, for the ACCC in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, in the national championships.
All right, and now presenting to Enterprise State Community College, the Gulf South District, Flag of Honor. Here we go.
Well, this one is over. And it is the Boll Weevils who will advance to the Nationals as they have defeated Jones College in a dynamite 2-hour, 1-minute marathon match that goes 5. And they got the separation they wanted there in that 5th set and win it going away 25-17, 25-17. 15-8, Enterprise State wins. Jones 25-15 and 26-24 victories Congratulations to both, but a huge kudos to the Region 22 rep of the Boll Weevils of Enterprise State, as they will advance to the Nationals in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Thanks so much for watching our coverage. Congratulations to the Boll Weevils. Hey, don't forget basketball in Bay Minette. Coastal North and South, baseball in Ozark. It's today. Next week, back to plenty of basketball, baseball, football, and more. All here on JockJive. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And so long, everybody. Boll Weevils are the champions. I'm Robert Williamson for Dean Myrick and the ACCC. Have a great Saturday.